Rich pins. Rich pins. Rich pins. That's what we're talking about. Okay, so if you're a business and you have a business account on Pinterest, you should have rich pins set up. So your pins should be what's called a rich pin. If you don't have rich pins, or if you don't know if you have rich pins, keep watching. What's up? It's Tabby with Simple Pin Media, and we are here to help you market effectively on Pinterest. That's Marsley. She's here to say hello. What are rich pins? Rich pins are basically a way of syncing your website information with your pin that's on Pinterest. It does require it to have rich pins. You must have a business account. And anytime you have a change on your website side, so if you change a description or information about whatever it is you're talking about in that pin, it's going to automatically change in the rich pin on the Pinterest side. However, if you go and edit a rich pin on Pinterest, it will override what you have in your metadata on your website. So it's just something to keep in mind. If you want it to automatically update your Pinterest pins, then make your edits on the back end of your website. Here's some reasons why you want to make sure you have rich pins set up on your Pinterest account. Like I already said, updates are made automatically. So anytime you have a title change, description change, any type of information like that coming from your website, if you change it on your website side, it's going to automatically change in all those pins. Trying to change your information on your pin on the Pinterest side is pretty impractical because you can change information on one pin, but you don't know how much that pin has been pinned to other people's boards. Another reason you want rich pins is because your users see more information. Rich pins add more details like instructions, ingredient list, bold titles, things like that. Also, brand credibility. Having a rich pin means you have a claimed account and a legit website. And of course, if you've done all your research with SEO on your blog site and you add that information on your blog site, then that's all going to translate into your rich pins. So translating your SEO work that you've done on your website side over to Pinterest, it's a no-brainer, right? Yes. And lastly, the reason why you would want rich pins set up on your Pinterest account is because it just makes your life easier. It's automatically updating your pins. It's automatically filling in the description, the title, all of those things. So we need easy in this very complicated entrepreneurial world. There are 3 types of rich pins. There are recipe rich pins, there are article rich pins, and there are product rich pins. If you are a food blogger, then you definitely want to set up recipe rich pins. If you are a general blogger or even a service-based business that has a website with blog posts, you'll definitely want to set up article rich pins. And if you are a product seller with a shop, that's when you want to make sure you have product rich pins enabled. To set up each individual type or to learn more about these individual types of rich pins, I have links below. So there's this technical side of setting up rich pins, and it includes HTML coding and stuff like that, and it's super overwhelming if it's not your thing. And I hear you. Listen, I have done this before. I had my own website and I figured it out. And I'm telling you, if I can figure it out, you can do it. Because it's a lot of tech jargon, I'm not going to talk about it right here in the video because it's all just going to go in here and then out here. So what I'm going to do is have descriptions down below of how to set up each individual rich pin on your website. Here's another thing I want you to keep in mind. The process for getting your rich pin tag set up on your website side is probably going to look different on different website hosts. You know what I mean? So going into your back office of WordPress is going to look different from going to your back office of Squarespace or something. So highly encourage you to do a little Googling and look up how to set up Pinterest rich pins, how to add Pinterest rich meta tags in WordPress or whatever website host you have. Okay? Does that make sense? If it doesn't, leave a question in the comments. I'm here for you. 2 things I want to leave you with. 1, getting rich pins is a lot easier today than it was 6 months ago. You used to have to go through, I think, 2 other steps, and now it's just 1 step, which is just adding the tag into your website. So it is a lot easier. So let's just thank Pinterest for that for a minute. And again, I'm going to have links down below that will help walk you through these steps written out so you can follow them precisely and know exactly what you're doing. One more thing. Once you have set up your rich pins and you're good to go, give it like 24 hours. Sometimes Pinterest, it's like a lag before it actually sets in. So don't come to me immediately after you have set it up and say, it's not working. I want you to wait 24 hours at least. Okay, so after you have set up all your rich pins, your pins look beautiful with the rich pin information, then maybe you have like a product that you're talking about in that pin or an affiliate product, and now you can tag those products on that pin. How do you do that? I talk about that in this video. Watch that next. I'll see you next week.